Drew and Fuse show, the Drew and Fuse show. They clean up nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse show, the Drew and Fuse show, the Drew and Fuse show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
Daffs, we are back. We've got a new, we got claps. This is how we're starting it today. Making us look bad already. Sound effects.
we got our good friend over here, A1, Audio1 from the Bay.
That's right. We are here with a music episode. Well, it's been a minute since we've done a music episode. And this is the second time Audio1 has now been on the podcast. And the first time, man. I mean, it's been a couple years, I think.
He's like number 4. I think he was one of the first. Yeah, very top of the thing. So we're happy to have you back.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. A lot has transpired in the past couple of years. So yeah, we're here, man. I'm glad to be here.
No, and you were telling us a little before, we started about kind of what you got going on and what you got coming up. Do you want to mention it a little to us now?
Yeah, man. This weekend, I'm actually going to be working with the NBA, man. It's just really, really exciting.
Get them claps again right there. I need my claps, dude, for that. Look at that.
Yeah, so it's NBA All-Star Weekend this weekend in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is crazy. We have President's Day weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, and NBA All-Star Weekend all happening at the same time. Plus, it's Mex weekend, Mex and Photo Booth Expo. So yeah, it's about to get wild out here, man. So yeah, I got the opportunity to work for the NBA. I'm going to be working with them this Friday night and then all day Saturday. And then after that Saturday gig, straight to Rick and Roxy's, what Fuse knows all about.
Yeah.
Nice disco club in the San Francisco Bay Area. So I'm a resident there. And yeah, it's going to be one of those weekends, man. I can't wait to fall asleep on Sunday morning, get enough sleep, and then hit that plane to Vegas. So that's the DJ lifestyle, right?
That's right. Aoki said, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Hey, so you're actually playing like over at the stadium or in front of the stadium, or
it's
rotating all around?
It's actually a corporate event for the NBA, so it's a little bit away from Chase Stadium, but there's so many activities happening. The All-Star game is one thing and everything happening around the stadium, but there's also things happening in Oakland as well, at Oakland Arena, and just all over San Francisco. So that's just how it is.
We mentioned it last episode, but you have the Super Bowl is coming to you next year.
Yeah.
You got to start throwing your name around the city to get all those parties.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. The last time we had something like that, I can't remember what year it was, but we had a Super Bowl city, and just the whole city got taken over. It was really crazy. So we're looking forward to it, man. For us when we have these events, and you guys know when LA is winning or when Cincinnati's winning, like it just opens up a ton of opportunities for DJs, and you just got to get in there and do it. So I look forward to these types of events, man. So.
Do you have any forecast of who they're going to get for halftime show next year?
I have no idea, and it's funny because what just happened with the Super Bowl. A lot of people are saying they got to have somebody from the Bay, but really, there's no control over any of that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Honestly, my prediction is they're probably going to get Beyonce. So that's just my.
Colby Calais is my prediction. Maybe Alanis Morissette.
A lot of people are rooting for Morgan Wallen, though. Like that's like the man right now, apparently. So
yeah.
So Beyonce just got the #1 country album, so her and Morgan can go and collab.
Yeah, we'll see, man. A lot of that's political, I guess. And fall on whatever side you fall on with the Kendrick thing. I mean, it was an incredible performance. It was necessary, and honestly, for us on the West Coast, it feels like it was a win for us. You know what I mean? Like. The culture is like the world is paying attention to what LA and the West Coast is doing, because a lot of the imagery, especially the way Kendrick does things, he not only gives love to LA, but he gives a lot of love to the Bay Area too. A lot of that sound that you're hearing is Bay Area, So to us, we're proud of the movement that's happening right now. So
yeah, I like that it's Mustard's back, right? And so he's much more up tempo hip hop, like the 100 BPM hip hop. Let's keep that more upbeat hip hop coming.
yeah, I'm praying that's what's happening. I mean, obviously here in California, we just stick above 95 BPM. Like that's just the comfortable place for us, and it's interesting when you dip down below that because you can, but it seems like the safe zone is 95 to 105 for a lot of us. So, and it'll probably reflect that way with the tracks that we picked today. So,
What was your weekend this past weekend? What did you do? Did you play? Where'd you play?
honestly, I was just doing a good bunch of corporate events, nothing major. Just and then I did spin in San Francisco. I was in a spin in San Francisco, so it's fun gig. I get to try out everything that I make, and it's a family environment. I just have fun there, man. It's pretty easy, and yeah.
Those are always refreshing sometimes when you don't have to focus on, the dance floor as much, and you get to just kind of do your own thing.
Right. And I've played there long enough that they just give me free range within reason, just
Right.
as long as I'm watching the crowd. You could get into a rock set, you could play a Latin set, EDM, whatever, just whatever the vibe is, And sometimes
That's
we have
awesome.
games and we have like people walking away from like the stadiums and they're walking towards the train stations, and they just happen to walk by us and they always stop by. It's like a great pit stop as well.
Drew, do you want to get into a little bit of discussing what's current right now and if we're playing it or not?
Yeah. So again, music episode. We're gonna talk about tracks and new remixes and stuff that we're currently playing and stuff that you should be playing. But we also want to run down at least this top Spotify playlist and see if we're all still kind of hitting it, and I'm just gonna glance over it, but see if we're still playing it. So Kendrick is just all on the whole top the top chart. So definitely I think I'm playing all those big ones. Have you started working in Luther yet?
Who,
Audio
me?
one? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's a go-to, man.
I'm apparently snoozing on that one.
I'll send you some good edits of it, man. There's a couple of them that like transition well into it,
Okay.
I don't play it. I don't play it at all. I haven't played it.
At the top here is also the one that's here is that Denial is a River. You playing any? I like her flow and I like this track a lot, but I'm not playing it.
No, yeah, that's definitely that, and like Nissan Altima. That I think Nissan Altima is like the club banger. But
Yeah.
there's so many remixes of Denial is a River like out there. You just gotta like pick your favorite and go with it.
You have a favorite?
I don't think I have one that I just played the original, or I think I got one from Flip Out. Flip Out makes a lot of good blends. So usually
What chart are you looking at currently, Drew?
I'm looking at Spotify top 50 USA.
Okay. I'm looking.
So number 9 here, and again I'm skipping around, is Pink Pony Club. All Chaperone. I'm playing Pink Pony Club, but the one I play more is Good Luck Babe. So those are the two I play from her. I'm not playing Hot to Go anymore. I don't know if you are.
Hot to Go works with the younger crowds. Like that next to like Apete is like the banger mix right there.
Right.
Good Luck Babe definitely goes. There's a lot of good disco remixes out there. I actually sent this guy Fuse a couple of them last week. So
yeah, the Hot to Go is like falling off for me, like almost completely. Like I play it still, but it's just very, very quick. And if I do, it's just to kind of get down into that BPM and play something quick to kind of break it up. The Pink Pony Club has been the one that I've played of hers that I feel like people want to hear. And then I like what I think Deville did it, the Diplo.
Yeah, that's what I still play.
Yeah,
it's Deville did do it, and it's with Diplo's. Let's see.
Don't Forget My Love.
Yeah, Don't Forget My Love.
Oh,
yeah, that's the one I really like.
Yeah, I have Pink Pony Club. The most played one I have is the Casey Berry remix, and then I have a Gin and Sonic remix of Good Luck Babe. Those have been
that one's good too.
Yeah, that one's
got a little more
too.
oomph to it.
And then next, the new one from Lady Gaga, Abracadabra. I got a request for that this weekend, and I played it, and it did fine. I don't know if you guys have tried it yet, but
I haven't played it out. I just saw Castra's remix on social media, and it sounds like a banger. So that's the one I want to grab. I just haven't grabbed it yet, and that's. But yeah, it seems like the first time she's made a song that I'm like, ooh, here we go, one that might actually hit.
Right.
It's trending on the dance tracks too on Mint, where I look at a lot of stuff on Spotify. So, and then next we got Weekend Timeless. I get 8 billion requests for this.
Wow.
It just seems like every night someone requests a song. So Mike D made one that I've been playing, and then yeah, that's the one I've been playing.
Audio1, do you play that?
I haven't played it. I have a few versions here. It looks like I
Mhm.
have the original and I have the Sepho remix and Mike D bootleg as well. So yeah, I got to get to it. I just got a Miami bass one. It's Gilla, and I just got this pack this past week. Actually, it's not a Miami bass. I'm a piano remix. So I'll send it to you guys. But this guy GILLA, he makes a lot of like Miami bass stuff on like SoundCloud. So yeah, but that one's on my piano one. I guess I got to get to it.
The Zillionaire, he put up we just got a good one of his up on DMS too. It's kind of like the piano house, that vibe of his. So.
I love Zillionaire, man. He saved my career in the past year, man. His stuff is just the piano house is just bangers, bro. And we're gonna link up with him in Vegas, so that's gonna be dope.
Yeah,
same. Yeah, I owe a couple gigs to my boy Zillionaire.
Yeah,
I'm gonna skip some of these tracks because I know Audio1's gonna talk about them. So
yeah, no worries.
if you think I'm skipping something, then we're gonna talk about it here shortly. What about Tyler Sticky?
Kids love that song.
Yeah, I know. I need to be playing it more often, but I need a better edit.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I've got a few requests from it. I don't have a good version that to play, but it just need to. And part of it's just been I've been busy, and then it gets looked over, and then next thing you know. But yeah, I've gotten some requests for that one.
Rose and Bruno Mars, APT.
Yep.
APT. I am playing that. I like the Deville one. Deville did he just kind of made it a little Jersey club on the hook, and I really like what he did with it. So I've been playing that. Messy.
Yes, I feel like I've gotten requests for it. I actually have that in my picks for today. I feel like I found a good. I did a Daft's version of it kind of early on,
deep end,
and I like it, but it doesn't necessarily hit for it's more vibey. And I finally found a good one that I feel like is a good balance between not destroying the original song and kind of has enough bounce for dancey. So I'll talk about that one in a little bit.
Dope.
It's crossing over because they're playing it on alternative radio out here. So it's hitting a lot of radio stations. I know it's going to get even bigger. The Beautiful Things, Benson Boone. I keep seeing more and more people playing this, and everyone's screaming along with terrible how bad that guy sings. Right?
His Grammy performance went viral on the social media of flipping around the stage. Pretty crazy.
Future like that still kills.
Yeah,
for the hip hop crew. Yeah,
yep. I made a quick edit. I did a couple different versions of that one.
And I had this in my notes, and then we'll move it along. But Fetty Wap again. Why is this trending? Audio1, I'm hoping you knew because I can't figure it out.
I saw it pop up at a bunch of pools again, and I'm like, why? And even on DMS, Pete Down made a really great epic intro, but I'm like, why? But then I actually played it last week during a Dilla tribute. A random person popped into my chat, and it's all Dilla music, and they're like, "Can you play Fetty Wap?" And lately I just been in this mood where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna entertain that. So I ended up just playing the acapella of Again over a Dilla beat, and it sounded great. But it's I think it has to do with nostalgia, man. It's almost 10 years old, and kind of somewhere I want to say 10 years old or 8 years old, something like that.
Let's see.
Well, I have been getting requests for it, and it's trending on Spotify. So I'd love to know what
might be a
happened.
TikTok thing, maybe.
Yeah. There's a reason for it because
maybe it's because
that's random.
No, that's wrong. He's in jail, right? Yeah, that's why we got no new music from him because he's in jail. Do you think he's gonna come out and just put out an album and crush it, or do you think it'll be a flop?
I tend to follow hip hop a lot, and what I've noticed is just this pattern is that there's all this hype for these artists to leave jail. But most of them are having to be, they can't record anymore. Like for example, Young Thug, he's just chilling at home with his lady because he really can't record because anytime he records, he would basically be incriminating himself. So, and the same thing happened with Bobby Shmurda. Everyone was expecting Bobby Shmurda to make this big return, and the only thing I heard from him, he did a track with Loud Luxury, and that's it. Which is random, right?
Yeah.
So who knows?
He's in my picks coming up here. So
Yeah.
All right, and then I guess the last thing I just wanted to talk about is I know Audio One's hip to the scene, a lot hipper than at least I am. But coffee shop gigs at the Afrobeats and Amma Piano. I mean, all they just are all in one, right? So someone even sent me a a DJ playing in a gym sauna, and everybody's going crazy. And I'm going, what's with all these free gigs that people are doing? Are you doing any of those? Question. And are you playing any like Amma Piano Afrobeat style gigs? That's a double question, but that's for me.
I'm not doing any of those gigs. I have friends who do. There's actually a few studios here, and there's actually one series. I gotta find it, but one of the series is actually filmed in downtown Oakland in an apartment complex. When they pan down, you could see Lake Merritt. I'll just have to send you the video, but I know those people. I don't do them. Am I playing any on my piano? I have one residency where I can actually play on my piano, and it's a LGBT spot in downtown Oakland. It's called Town Bar, and they have a good African crowd that comes through there. So I've actually had to like brush up on my Afro beats and my Amma piano and just kind of keep an eye on that kind of music. It's pretty much the only one. But the good thing about it, especially with the song like Adam Port Move, is that you could kind of bounce it around. There's a lot of good remixes out there if you're really just doing your homework. You know, some of the pools have some good remixes, but if you're going deep on SoundCloud, you can find some good stuff. Just to kind of ties in that sound with like the pop stuff that we're used to out here, you know. So if it was like if it was a party, like if you couldn't throw me into an actual like Afrobeats party, you know, because that's not something that I follow intimately. But like, you know, if it's just like something like surface, I can get through it, you know.
What's like a big like song or two from that you play? I'm just curious because I don't really do any of that. I got a couple that I like that I play like early in the night, you know, but I'm not playing like.
Okay. There's a couple. I mean, obviously Tyler Water, even though that's more pop music, it's it you know, it's in that lane.
Crosses over, yeah, for sure.
Crosses over. And then another one that's been crossing over in the past like few months. It's a Hugo Topic, Arash, and Delcom. The song's called I Adore You. That one's like big. Like I've gotten people like from Europe and from Africa come in and ask me for that. I'm like, I don't know. Like anytime I think of Hugo, I think of like Latin tech house. But that one's more Afro beats, more on a piano style, and yeah, that seems to be the one. I Adore You is a real big one, and then everything else I'm looking at in my folder is pretty much remixes and blends. So
yeah,
like I have like a 50 Cent Candy Shop, Doja Cat, Agora Hills, Flip Out made an Amma piano edit of that one. So
I love it.
All right, so we're gonna roll this video and then we'll come back and talk about our picks. And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the DMS. DirectMusicService.com's picks of the week. To reviews, hit up with your top picks.
Audio one with the sound effects. We need those. All right, who wants to go first?
Alex, go first.
Are we going from like bottom up, or how are we doing?
We're just gonna go around in a circle, and
are we going like number one down or
doesn't
down?
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
So you could what I'd like to do is mention the song, and then maybe when you play it, if you have a favorite remix, any of that.
Definitely number one right now, Kendrick Lamar, TV Off. That's just been ringing off since it came out. And I know people play part one and part two. Definitely part two is the one that like everyone goes off to. Shout out to DJ Mustard. He's having the time of his life. And he has that Heinz mustard endorsement now, which is I hate to be Drake right now. So yeah, TV Off definitely goes off. Both versions. Sometimes you know, some places you could let the whole track play out. Sometimes you just come in straight with the bum, 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 you know, that big horn intro.
That's how I've been playing it, part two only. And usually just follow it kind of quickly up with Squabble Up, a little back to back. And then, all right, so my first pick is I got mostly house stuff here, and I'm going with I guess it's a crossover, but the Cloonee Young Ma Stephanie has just been
mega banger.
Just banging every night, killing every single venue.
There's a million bootlegs of it now too. It's crazy.
Yeah, a million. And I still like the original, but I got Joe Maz has this one in this pack, and it's the first part is the Stephanie drop with, and then the second part is Bobby Shmurda, the hot boy. So Side Piece did I've been seeing them play at the coffee shops, and they dropped this remix with it's basically Stephanie, but it's their version with Hot Boy from Bobby Shmurda. And Joe Maz did a little flip. So it's the first part's Stephanie, the second half is the Hot Boy, which
I gotta hear that.
Yeah, I'll send it over to you.
My first pick I'm going with is, we all played this song 1,000 times, and sometimes when you play songs 1,000 times, it's always fun to figure out a new way to play it. So David Guetta and Sia Titanium. Wesh just came out with a new remix bootleg that puts it over top of Pressure. And I know 1,000 people did that in 2012 or whatever when that song came out too. Mm-hmm. But this one's just a little more current sounding, and I really like what he did with it. So David Guetta, Sia, Titanium, the Wesh remix.
Wesh makes a lot of bangers, man. That's like one of those names. Wesh is like Felix and those names that you see all the time that you just grab them immediately. It's like Gin and Sonic. Anytime you see Gin and Sonic, you just grab it already, right? Like.
Does I actually wanted to know, does Gin and Sonic post all their? Do they have a Patreon, or they post regularly somewhere?
I believe they have a Patreon. I believe it's one guy. I believe he does have a Patreon. I don't quote me though, but I something tells me he does. So yeah.
They post a lot on SoundCloud too. Okay. I think all those ones that I have, I've grabbed off SoundCloud.
Okay, there you go.
Hype edit.
Yeah. Follow to download, like this, like that. Follow this playlist. Grab that. Yeah,
Yeah, it should be easier, I guess.
I got to watch out going on rants like that, else Demand will make another edit out of me talking.
Bing bong bong bong.
Yeah.
Wow. Shout out to Demand.
All right, Alex. Number two.
Number two, the hottest Latin artist there is, Bad Bunny, Nueva York. I tend to play to a lot of Latin audiences, and that one, for some reason, since that album came out, crushes. It's at 118. And something that we love about Bad Bunny is that he creates these natural transition tracks. So that one starts at 118 and the end jumps to 128. So to me, I use that as sort of a buffer between like the slower BPM and then going somewhere else with it. So by the time I'm out of that track, I'm at 128, 130. I'm already laying it up for the next set. So it's pretty dope.
I'm definitely going to have to start playing that more often. My favorite thing to do is just troll everybody when they ask for Bad Bunny and say, "Who's that? Is he new?" And just watch them get so upset. Their blood starts boiling. All right, my number two pick is Tiesto and Licky Lee. I Follow Rivers. They redid that. And the Deville, actually Fuse texted me this, but the Deville kind of layered the acapella over it. So
yeah, like the OG vocal. He just it just gives it a little better sound, I think, personally.
So grab that one. Yeah, I mean that's the original, the Magic, not the original, but what is the Magician?
Yeah,
already does great. So here's one to take that to peak hour.
My next pick is, I can never pronounce his last name. Arman Aveiru. He's on DMP, Digital Music Pool. This pick, this pick, it's Eurythmics, Charli XCX, Soulja Boy, and Pickle. Sweet Dreams, Guess, Crank That. It's like one of those where it's like three songs in one. And I usually don't play these. At all. But I really like the Eurythmics and Guess over top of it. I made my own edit of it, so I edited his edit. So it's a little quicker, and but I really like it. It's fun. It's got that Pickle drop of Crank That, so that's kind of where the Soulja Boy comes in at, and I just thought it was fun. I usually try to stick away from the ones that are like 3 or 4 songs in one, just because I feel like sometimes it's stuff that I'm going to play individually on its own, but this one kind of works. So that's my pick.
I'll have to hear that because that does sound it's like a lot of those DJs from Mars tracks where you're going, stop, that's not a thing.
Right.
It sounds so bad on paper, but then when you hear it, you're like, wow, that's amazing.
They always pull it off.
Yep. All right, Alex.
Number 3, you're gonna see a recurring theme here, but Bad Bunny, DTMF, Debí Tirar Más Fotos. That's the name of the album, and that's the main track on that album. And it's another one, 113 BPM. It's in the middle there, so it's the transition from like the reggaeton set, and you're kind of building up. I usually use these types of tracks as a transition to go up into the 120s, just to make a banger. Everyone sings it, and yeah, man, there's so much heat on that album. It's hard to pinpoint which tracks are the ones, but these 2 that I mentioned are probably the top ones out of that album.
Yeah, I know that one's there's hundreds of remixes for that song. So
Yeah,
all different ways you could play it. My number 3 pick, I'm gonna go with one that I'm playing it all the time. It's Marlon, Hoffstadt, and Fisher, and DJ Daddy Trance. It's That Time, Fisher remix.
mega banger.
Yeah. I've heard it before, but they played it at the Kings game, and it was just going crazy. So
that's like a mega banger over at Rick and Roxy's. When Mike will point to me like this, and I'm like, oh, it's time, and it's literally it's time to just go into the Fisher set, and yeah, it's like a vibe switch. Like people love that. So
yeah,
it's got that disco feel, but also like the tech house and bass house feel all in one, which is a great hybrid right now.
Right.
It's a lot of that. A lot of the new tech stuff is hitting older hip hop flows, right? Like Pasa is like just digging out these random 80s hip hop
90s,
flows
yeah.
and 90s, 80s. So yeah. Anyways,
my next pick, number 3, my third pick for today, Migos, Bad and Boujee, Smash on Club Killers did Bootleg. Again, I kind of restructured this one. Hit the way his comes in, it comes in right with like the hook of the song, and I wanted it to come in with the original, just how the original comes in. So I restructured it, but I really like that Bootleg. It kind of makes it fun. I'm not dipping down a lot into those low 60s hip hop anymore. So it's a good way for me to like fit something like that in with how I'm currently playing. So that's why I like that one. Alex?
Yes. Are we going to number 4?
Number 4.
All right. The next one, taking it to the South African sound, Adam Port, Move. It's been a big one for me in the last year, and it's something that I just play every weekend. I find a lot of the international audiences. That's how I actually got put onto it, and that and like the other tracks that we're talking about earlier. I don't know. It's just a banger. You know what I'm saying? There's some good remixes too. I played the original, but there's also a Henry Fong remix that is really, really good. Henry Fong takes things to the bass house world and kind of big room, but yeah, it's just the vibe in general.
Move on Spotify has almost 500 million streams. If that tells you how big that track blew up.
Yeah.
There's a Camila Cabello remix. Are you playing that, or are you playing the original?
Just the original, yeah.
I do like the Hills remix. I have been playing that.
That's the one I play too.
A little harder. All right, my next pick. I have a bunch here. Let's see where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Daft's Bootleg next, and it didn't go up on DMS because of a record label that won't be named, but you can find it somewhere. Where do we gotta post it? It will be.
All you gotta do is ask.
All you gotta do is ask. Or go on the Facebook group. But it's Miley, Cyrus, Wrecking Ball, and we paired it up with Empire of the Sun, Alive. And in key, it's a great sing along. It's
fun,
keeps it interesting.
I Drew originally said do something with Miley Cyrus, Wrecking Ball, and we were going back and forth, and finally we're like, maybe this will work. And then let's see, my next pick. I really like this one. I think a lot of DJs sleep on this track. The girls really, really like it. And Jay Bonax, he did a really good job on this edit. And it's Gracie Abrams, That's So True. The Promiscuous Girl, he put it over top of that. And I'm getting a lot of requests for that Timbaland, Nelly Furtado stuff at my gigs. And so this is a fun way to play something very current with that fits in that sound. And It's on DMS. You can go grab it. I always see the girls singing along when I play it.
Speaking of that sound, I have been getting requests for Man Eater by Nelly Furtado, which
Man Eater.
that
Wow.
that would never really hit the pinnacle that Promiscuous did, but maybe it'll come back.
It's TikTok, man. It's the youth. They're bringing all the tracks back, and it's good for us. Like we don't have to you don't have to dive too deep into these tracks. We already have them. So
It was like when Say It Right, when Nelly Furtado came back. It was like, well, that was never a hit,
Dude, I've been getting requests for The Way I Are, and I'm like, what? Like that
many
song,
versions.
I removed it from my library and like in general because I was like, I'll never play that again. That sound is so dated. Like it sounds like 2013 or whatever.
It works though, man.
Yeah, or it's older than 2013, right?
Right.
What now I gotta look.
It's 2000s for sure.
Yeah, it's 07.
07, yeah.
Yeah, so it just sounds like that. But now, again, all that stuff I just mentioned, it's like all that era, and it's just getting requests for it. It's crazy.
And then you have a track like Abracadabra from Lady Gaga that's just gonna just bring it all back, because that reminds me of that late 2000s electro pop sound,
Right, for sure. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've been chatting with the Cataracts on Twitter recently.
Wait, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. So them and Dev are actually coming back to
I was so hyped on that.
They're like our first new track in 14 years, and Kashmir, he's one of the guys from the Cataracts, and I'm like, I heard the recent Kashmir stuff, and I'm like, I hear Cataracts in this one right here, and he's just like, stay tuned. So yeah, I think they're coming back, with some of that flavor again.
Dude, it's crazy how much stuff he's produced too.
I started replaying In the Dark, Dev in the Dark recently, and it hits. It hits big.
It's a good time for that music.
And Kashmir was just on a podcast. It's like I can't remember the name of those guys, but they do a lot of remixes. They talk about a lot of production stuff. Anyways, he was talking about how the G6 was like one of his first hits, and he's still getting royalty checks on it. And he's like, "Oh, producing is this easy?" He was like kind of joking about how he's never been able to like duplicate that, but he's still how the TikTok the man in finance brought that one back, and he's grateful for just still collecting checks on it.
That song is crazy too.
Alex, you got another pick for us? I think it's number 5.
Yeah, I'm kind of debating between these two songs just because one is a new one and it's recent, and another one, for some reason, I've been getting a lot of requests. The Dare Girls Chainsmokers remix. I've been playing that one, and then I also have a Cases edit of it as well. Yeah, it just like I remember somebody asked me for it, and I'm like, yeah, I'll play it. I had it in my laptop, and I heard everybody singing it. I'm like, oh, damn, okay, I must be late to the party or something. So, but there's now, I think it's probably working for you guys. I would say, right?
Yeah, the original or the Chainsmokers, both are great. What was I gonna say? It sounds like it just sounds like
old Calvin Harris is what it sounds like. It sounds like the old
blog house
and blog house stuff. Yeah,
we need a clean version on DMS, so that's the one thing. But the other one, Sexy Red and Bruno Mars, Fat Juicy and Wet, which is an interesting record, especially for Bruno Mars. But it could have legs if people push it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in the right range. It's 104 BPM, has that kind of mustard kind of sound. But who knows? Sometimes these tracks take a minute to build, or they're just duds. I don't know how it's been for you guys, but I've been kind of testing it out the past 2 weeks since it came out. So
I've tested it, and I've had a mix out of it so fast because it just flops.
Just the hook.
I don't even. Yeah, usually I get to the first hook. There's like the hype. Someone made a little hype on DMS. It's like go 60, and then the hook, and then that's about as much as I could get to before people are sad. I hope it does well. I like the track.
Drew, it's up to you. It's your pick.
My track. Are we just gonna rattle off? We hit our top 5. We're just gonna rattle off some honorable mentions.
Yep.
Yeah, you're number 5 though right now, right?
Oh, number 5. I'm gonna go with Guetta, Forever Young. There's a hooks and drops edit, and it's a huge sing along. So hopefully it could take over some of these, titaniums and all the ones that'll never die. But I like that it's a newer sing along.
All right, let's see. So my number 5 is the Lola Young Messi that we talked about earlier. It is the Mentol remix, Mentol remix. It's like a kind of has like the Zillionaire vibe, like a piano house. It's just enough where it doesn't ruin the original song, and then has enough to where like you could still dance to it. So I really like that remix. I'm happy I found it. I think I found that one on SoundCloud. I'm not sure actually, but Mentol remix.
I need it.
I'm gonna send. I'll send right now.
All right. Alex, you have any honorable mentions?
I have 2 honorable mentions just because these are 2 tracks that I tend to play almost every weekend, and they just won't go away. First one is Tinashe Nasty Girl, and you kind of hit a lot of people with that one, and the next one's Sabrina Carpenter Espresso. You just can't get away from that in any version. But I have the originals that I normally play, and they seem to do pretty well. They kind of just keep things going.
I agree. I played the Tinashe Nasty Girls. I played it out of Diggs did a blend with A Craze.
Oh yeah.
And so I've been playing it that back to back. It does well. The original A Craze with that.
I play that version as well.
I have my honorable mentions. Let's see. Here's another Miley Cyrus with Cashmere. It's the See You Again and Satisfaction Simo bootleg. There's a Killers remix of Somebody Told Me, Freejack remix, and then a Skrillex Rumble, the Keys and Crate remix. Those are mine.
That's a good one.
Those are my extras. That Keys and Crate remix of Rumble is just, it's vibey. It's total polar opposite of the original. It's so good.
Right.
Let's see here. My honorable mentions. Ardent did a bootleg of Meet Me Halfway over top of M83 Midnight City. That's pretty cool. Pretty fun. I liked that one. And the other one, I found this one on SoundCloud. This would be like for me at least, unless I was playing more of a house party, the International Players Anthem Joel at the Disco remix. I really like that. It'd be like end of the night closer kind of if I'm playing up tempo, and I just really like that one.
Awesome. I think that's it. Did you get yours in, Alex? I'm sorry, my brain's dead.
Yes.
Okay.
You said for that International Players Anthem, right?
Internet. I'll send it to you. I'll send it. It'll be in the stuff that I got to give to you.
I just got a really crazy edit of that. It's We're Going Down with the International Players Anthem on top. 4 Color Zach edit.
Nice.
I have to send that to you guys. It's really cool. Good end of the night energy. Especially bringing it from like if you're in a rock set and then you want to transition into like a hip hop set. It's a good one.
I love it.
We're all tired.
Dude, I am tired.
we all look tired. We're just like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go take a power nap after this. So
yeah, it snowed here last night, like I was telling you off camera earlier, and it's just enough to kind of mess everything up and make it cold again. And I don't like the snow, man. It's the one part I don't like about living here is the snow. So
I'm not gonna complain about 46 degrees out here. So
I mean, Alex, what's the snow?
Yeah, what's snow exactly?
I know. But if you guys do want that edit that Drew and I mentioned of the Miley Cyrus staffs, just hit us up. We'll send it. There's a lot of good stuff talked about on today's episode. And
we should put that on the SoundCloud. Let's force them to go to SoundCloud for something. Anyways,
can I plug something?
Yeah,
go for it. Yeah.
All right. I have a Patreon now, by the way. I do post most of my content exclusively on Direct Music Service, but there's a ton of stuff that doesn't make it to DMS. It's now on my Patreon, patreon.com/DJAudio1. Join for free. There's a welcome pack waiting for everybody, 111 free edits. Yesterday, I put out a brand new pack, all Bad Bunny, 50 Bad Bunny edits. So definitely jump on there. Just stuff that you're not gonna find elsewhere. So yeah. And I'm hoping 1 to 2 packs a month on the Patreon for that kind of stuff should be good. There's just a ton of material that doesn't make it onto the pools and just heaters that work for the DJs,
Love it.
Yeah, to Alley-oop, Alex, that's how I met him in the first place. Is Audio1 is edited king back in the days, and he always had the most amazing email list, and you'd get all these edits, and he digs like no one I know. So definitely go sign up for his Patreon. He's out there doing the Lord's work. So go grab it. Sign up.
Appreciate it. And this is gonna sound crazy, but you reached out to me in about a month's time. You reached out to me 10 years ago to join DMS.
Wow.
So
10
yeah,
10 years ago.
10
Jeez.
years. Yeah, it's 10 years. 10 years in March, man. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Wow. I wish I could get those 10 years back. Go back to that time.
Yeah, same. I would change a lot.
Amen to that. Well deserved, and I can't wait to hear you in Mex. Which, if you're listening to this, we already heard him, and he killed it. He just crushed it. So I'm gonna see both of your sets, and I'm gonna have my A1 flags up in the front.
Let's go. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a riot. Just with all
Looking forward to it.
All the homies out there, definitely. So.
All right, cool. Well, that's going to wrap up the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this music episode. It's been a minute since we've done one, and we'll be coming back with more. We look forward to the next episode. See you guys soon.
Peace.